Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for November of 2025. You have this card. It says your commitment is being tested. You also have this card that says you are good enough here, Pisces. I kind of feel like you're saying enough is enough. It's like I don't even feel like that card is saying what it means to say. Like, yeah, sure, Pisces, you should definitely be saying that you're good enough every single day. But I think this is saying that Pisces is saying enough is enough. I feel like you are you're kind of like done with something. You're getting serious. I think this is a good thing, Pisces. I don't feel like this is bad at all. Like I said, I think you're getting serious about something. Probably, November will be a very creative month for you, Pisces. I actually really like this Mercury retrograde for you in a lot of ways. And pretty much the entire month of November is Mercury retrograde from the 9th till the 29th. But I would still say that I think it's going to be good just in general. And, good for kind of like reinventing your career, reinventing your finances, your money, something like that. We'll see what comes up. In your first row, you have the King of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Wands, you showing up here. I kind of do feel this reading is all about you in some ways. And, really there's like not much else that's kind of showing up here. And so putting yourself first, you are good enough, saying that stuff is going to be good for you. The King of Cups, he has very strong control over his emotions. And in a lot of ways, I do feel that you are kind of taking control of your emotions, but this is kind of like from the Neptune perspective, which is maybe a little bit different than you think. And I feel like you're feeling more in control. Like I said, I kind of got the words enough is enough at the beginning of the reading. It's like you're taking something seriously in your life. You have the Nine of Swords. Again, funny enough, I feel pretty good about this Nine of Swords for you as well, Pisces, because, again, sometimes I think Nine of Swords is the enough is enough moment for us. This person's had a nightmare. The whole point of the card is that they're stuck in a nightmare. They've had a nightmare, and they're trying to get out of a nightmare. Sure, maybe some of you have been through a nightmare, but I don't really think it's that dramatic for all of you. But I feel like some of you are just like deciding like I'm done. I want to change. I want things to change in my life. And, I feel like you're taking it very seriously. It's kind of funny as well because I do get a very serious, I feel like you are going to be very serious in the month of November. Again, is that a bad thing? I would say hell no. I think that's a good thing, especially based off the energy, based off of what you could create here if you wanted to. And yeah, I think you're just taking work seriously. You have the Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. So again, very good card for you to get here. If we go in this direction, Nine of Cups to the Eight of Pentacles, this would kind of represent being very focused on something in work. I always say that the best thing to do with the Eight of Pentacles is to pick one thing and finish it, whatever it is. It really doesn't matter what it is. It can be, something big. It can be something small that you're working on, especially having to do with your finances. But I would just like pick it and make it happen, right? Going this way, this bottom row looks amazing. Three of Wands, Sun, and the Six of Wands. Like a lot of expansion and growth here. I kind of feel like you're deciding to make something happen on purpose. Like let's say, I just want to say, Pisces, that, it's like I think Pisces can have seasons in life. Like everybody can have seasons in life. But I feel for Pisces, it's like maybe for the past 20 years, every single December something happens in your life. Or, maybe you always run out of money at the end of the year. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by a season. It's like something, what I feel intuitively here is like something happens at this time of year, kind of. Like maybe not even November, but maybe like December, January, around your birthday time. For many years, we've had Mercury retrograde on Pisces' birthday, except for last year, actually, we didn't, but for many years before that. So it's like, I feel like there's like a season that you are changing here, Pisces, in your life. It's like part of your story, or it's like part of something that has been your story. And like I said, it's about damn time, Pisces. I feel like you're saying enough is enough. I'm making this change. I'm ending like something that has been repeating. With the King of Cups here, you have the Page of Swords. I get a very weird feeling on this card because I feel like you're very matter-of-fact. Now, things have changed for you in love, specifically, Pisces. I wouldn't really call this a love reading just in general, but I feel like you want, for those of you that are looking for love, I feel like this Page of Swords is saying that you're looking for people who are very clearly all in. It's like none of this, back and forth, none of this. Like, I feel like you're not going to tolerate anything less than like burning desire from a person. And I don't necessarily think that you're being unrealistic here either. Actually, I kind of feel this is a good thing for you, Pisces. It's like you're no longer settling. Again, it's an amazing time for creativity for you, and the Page of Swords isn't necessarily creative, but he is kind of like a little bit of a detective, and he really looks into things that he is creating, right? And so he finds like the best way to create something. And if you're working in a creative field, if you're just trying to do something creative, even if it's personal, I would kind of like look for the best way with this card. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Lovers. Anytime I say it's not a love reading, love comes up. It's like the universe is like, nope, you're going to talk about it. So there you go, Pisces. My problem is that Page of Swords. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you here, Pisces. I'm just going to say it. I do feel like some of you maybe have a person who's interested in you, but it's like I feel like I don't know. I feel like if you know that someone is interested in you, I feel like you know that they're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like this might not be a person you're dating, but I feel like you're looking for that desire. It's like I feel like you're no longer playing that game of people who are just like back and forth, all over the place, dating 20 people at once, working the streets, whatever is going on out here. I have no freaking clue, right? I avoid it. I just hide in my mountaintop bunker all the time now. That's pretty much all I do, right? I'm just waiting for the asteroid to come, whatever. But what I would say here is, again, I think you want something or someone who's all in. And I feel like you're kind of like making that clear with your vibe. The Nine of Swords with the Lovers, the Lovers can also be a card of being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. And again, I think you need to make the new choice to get out of whatever the Nine of Swords, the repeat season in your life is. With the with the Eight of Wands, we have the Three of Wands again, is what I meant to say. Whenever this happens, like where we have a card and then we have another card that's the same, to me, it's kind of saying that the energy is more flowing this direction here, if that makes sense. So again, clearly there is an opportunity for you to expand with the Three of Wands. This could also represent your ships coming in. Funny enough, I don't really read the Three of Wands as your ships coming in. I know that is the traditional meaning of the Three of Wands, but the boats are pointing out of the harbor. They are going away from his position. So really, it's like a card of adventure and expansion and expanding out with the world. But I do feel like there could be something coming in for you here, like a reward, especially for those of you that have been putting in the work into anything that you're working on. This looks like results. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you in November, you have this destiny card. Here you go. It says, you have a divine destiny to fulfill through your career path. Your work will help elevate the consciousness of the planet. Damn. You have this obligations card. It says you have some prior contracts or commitments that still need to be fulfilled before you can completely move on to the next stage of your journey. So a lot of you are like, this could be a period of time where you're wrapping things up or wrapping up prior obligations. I also feel there's like something about just making the decision to work on something new. It's like, you might have obligations that you're creating for yourself that you don't need to be creating, but, definitely good for work this month. You have the Hermit, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Wands. I intuitively feel that it could just be a little bit more of a hermit mode month for you, and I don't think I just don't think there's anything you need to do about it, Pisces. I feel like sure, maybe you're being a typical Pisces this month, but, it just feels to me like it's one of those months where I feel like saying, so what? Go for it, Pisces, right? If you want to be a hermit this month, I'm giving you permission, which normally I don't, right? Normally I tell you have to get out there, but, this month, if that's what you feel like doing, do it. And I think you'll be perfectly fine because it looks to me like you are working on something behind the scenes that probably will bring you a crap ton of attention here in the future. This right here is your future position. And we could even argue that the last row for the good stuff is also kind of like in the future. So, again, it's like you're working on things behind the scenes that will probably get you attention in the future, and that's fine. You have the Nine of Cups. Yes, I would just feel good this month. It just seems like a simple month for you as well. The Nine of Cups is a card of fulfillment or wish fulfillment, but I always say that the Nine of Cups is a card of alignment. He is getting a wish because he's in alignment with what he wants. I just feel this card is encouraging you, Pisces, to feel good. Do more things that make you feel good. Now, is life perfect? No, of course not. But, are there activities? Are there things that make you feel better? And, the other thing is sometimes there are things we don't necessarily want to do that make us feel good. It's like some people don't necessarily want to work out, for example. But, at the same time, doing it makes you feel better. If I had it my way, I would eat pizza and ice cream every single day of my life, and I would be very happy. But obviously, that is a bad idea, right? So it's like sometimes being responsible also makes us feel good, even if we don't want to do it. So you have to kind of look at both sides here with the Nine of Cups. And, but again, I would do more things that make you feel fulfilled. And again, some of that might be responsibility. Some of that might be literal fun things that you can do. But I think the faster you do that, or the more you do that, the more you're going to manifest, good things into your life with this card. You have the Three of Wands. Yeah, I think you're getting ready for next year, 2026, when Saturn moves back into Aries, actually around your birthday time. So Saturn officially moves back in Aries on the 26th, like right after your birthday starts in February. And so it's like you're getting prepared to launch off into 2026. And, I've said to you before, I think having Saturn in that second house in Aries, even if you're not a second house Aries, Pisces, Aries, whichever way, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It is Pisces second house, just in general. And so Saturn there, like I've said, you have to be loud, you have to be bold, you have to put yourself out there, you really have to go for the things you want, practice discipline. And not only that, I think that Pisces, you really have to value yourself. It's like, if there are hard things that you could do, that you could handle, that you're not doing, then you're not valuing yourself, right? It's like this isn't just, life is going to be easy street for you. But what I can promise you is if you do those hard things, and, we're not talking about something that's like, oh, this is so hard. We're talking about, starting a business or putting yourself out there or starting a YouTube channel or something like that, right? If you do that, you will definitely reap the rewards in 2026. So I would get started now. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Wands. Yeah, it could be marriage potential. Could be attracting a Virgo for those of you that want love. Could be any sign, but, could be marriage potential. The Four of Wands is also about celebration, and it's also about setting yourself free. I do feel like some of you, really I feel like you're setting yourself free from that Nine of Swords. Like I said, the season of your life, like something always happens at this time of year. That's the feeling I was getting. And you're like saying enough is enough. I'm done living this every single year of my life. And it's like you're changing it. So the Four of Wands can be a card of freedom. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, no more stinking thinking, for sure, Pisces. The Four of Cups is like, I always, he's thinking, I always try to manifest something, but I never get what I want, right? He speaks very negatively about his situation, maybe. And he has these 3 cups in front of him and this 4th cup right here. So he's manifested these 4 cups, but he's tried something 3 times and he's been upset with what he's received. And now he's being given this new offer right here, but he's not accepting it into his life. And really what he needs to learn is that he has learned what he needs to learn from these 3 cups and he can try something again. So I almost feel like you're getting something that you kind of wish for, but you also kind of don't want at the same time. Here, Pisces, it's like you kind of want something, but you kind of don't. It could be love for some of you. It's like maybe some of you, it's like you kind of want it, you kind of don't want it. I do feel like the Four of Cups is saying you can handle it. You've learned the lessons, you just have to apply the lessons. For some of you, this can be money as well. I think a lot of people do this where it's like they say they want money, but they also do things that prevent them from having money, right? When we do that, we're creating a blockage. And I feel like the Four of Cups is like saying, no, you have learned the lessons and, good things can happen for you, Pisces. It's like, it's like one of those things where, if you could, let's say the universe came to you or God came to you and said, if you start this business, you're going to make $1 million next year. I think that would make Pisces very happy. But I also think Pisces would be like, yeah, but what happens a year after that? It's like you would immediately maybe question what would happen in 2 years. And because I think Pisces is too used to getting things that get taken away very quickly, like in a year or like 2 years or something like that. And it's almost like that is the little thing that you need to get rid of with the Nine of Swords, is the thinking like, okay, this year's good, but I'm going to be screwed next year. It's like that mindset needs to change. With the Three of Wands, you have the King of Swords. Really, I think it's you. You have that card that said, what did it say? It said, destiny. You have a divine destiny to fulfill through your career path. This could be anything. Even if you're retired, you are still doing things in the world. And the King of Swords, he is the card of knowledge and wisdom. And I do think it is time for Pisces to put their knowledge and wisdom out into the world. Even if you're retired, it doesn't have to be your career. But by being a living example, by living your best life, you are kind of guiding other people, whether you realize it or not. And so a lot of you, I think it's time for you to like share your wisdom with the world. I think Pisces needs to realize like how well they will be received. Like, I doubt myself all the time. I don't care. I tell people all the time what my problems are. I have a lot of them, right? Is what I would say. But, one of my problems is, like, sometimes I come up with ideas, like, even for this channel, and then I automatically think, oh, nobody's going to like that, or people are going to think it's stupid, or whatever. I actually, yesterday, I was going to start a new experiment on the channel. You're all going to see it soon enough. But then, like, I had this, like, thing in the back of my mind that was, like, not letting me really get started. And, it's like that's what Pisces has to overcome right now as well. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I think you can. It's like you have the ability to overcome this. But I also think that Pisces, again, needs to realize that your ideas are going to be better received than you think. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this confrontation card and this discomfort card. I feel like Pisces needs to not be afraid of confrontation right now. It's like if you don't like something, say it. If you don't like what someone is doing, say it. I feel like that little bit of discomfort will be good for you. We've been talking about this for a couple years now, Pisces. I used to say to you, I remember like a couple years or maybe like 3 years ago, a bunch of your readings, maybe in like 2023 or somewhere around there, you had a bunch of readings where I was like, who the hell is this? Like who the hell is showing up in this reading? It's not Pisces, is it? But it's like, I think a lot of people could be saying to Pisces, like, who the hell are you? But in a good way. Like, you're sticking up to people and you're willing to be in that discomfort. And I feel like a lot of you need to do that here with these cards. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Sun. The Eight of Pentacles, like I said, I think November would be a great thing. Like right now, today is October 24th. This will be published on the 25th, this video. So if you're watching this before November, I would come up with like one thing that you're going to work on, that you're going to complete. I also think it would be a good thing for you to do something that you wouldn't normally do and to get like an answer on something. I don't know, it's popping into my head. Like, if you have the King of Swords, which can represent an expert or, a mentor or a guide. And if there's something, like if you normally like wouldn't speak up, or if you normally like wouldn't ask a question at work or something like that, it's popping into my head that it would be a good idea with the Eight of Pentacles. But Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So, I think a lot of you could really be improving your finances here. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles like work hard, play hard, of course. So a lot of you could really be putting in the work with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is also a great card for money. The thing that I feel is if you're too scattered financially, like if you're doing too much, I feel like that will cause confusion. I think, keeping things simple is clearly the answer. Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, all those wands are pointing in one direction. They're focused on one thing. Eight of Pentacles, he's focused on doing one thing. And so, I think that focus is the key to better finances. Again, I think the problem for Pisces is that you're too used to money disappearing, and have been for many years, as I've said to you before. I think this maybe has made you like try to do too much because you're like, I need money from 900 different sources so I don't run out. But when you're doing that, you're like chasing money instead of saying like one thing is good enough. One focus, one single focus is good enough and can support me for the rest of my life. It's like that's what Pisces needs to focus on. You have the Sun, the best card in the deck, makes the whole entire reading more positive. So definitely a good month for you. Again, even though there's a Mercury retrograde, I still think November is going to be a pretty good month just in general, especially for you, Pisces. So, I think there's a lot of happiness and joy that could be coming in general. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, it's like the trick with and also kind of the problem with the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands together in a reading is that you need to have like a goal to work towards. How you get there doesn't matter. So it is a little bit of a contradictory energy in some ways because, the Eight of Wands and Eight of Pentacles want you to focus, but the Knight of Wands wants you to be flexible. Knight of Wands says there are a million ways to do anything. And, so I would just stay flexible. It's like have a focus, but, be flexible in how you accomplish it, right? With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, definitely time to take the lead. I think like creating moments where people say, who the hell are you? Who do you think you are? I think those would be good moments for Pisces this month. Don't be afraid to piss people off. I don't think you are going to piss people off, but it's like I think Pisces does always think like, oh, someone's mad at me or I'm going to piss someone off if I do this thing or whatever. I think you need more of those moments this month. I almost get the feeling of you creating moments on purpose this month. Like, it's like you really might have the ability to make something happen more on purpose, and I would. With the Sun, you have the High Priestess. Yes, the sun's shining on you this month, Pisces, for sure. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a good month for Pisces. I'm not saying it's perfect. Again, 2025, I said it at the beginning of the year, is not a perfect year, that's for sure. But, I think this is going to be a really good time for you. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have a Scorpio card that says the Underworld. It says, awaken your inner witch to maximize potential and connect to the universal energies. You're pretty good at that. You have this Unlocking Solutions. It says, through compromise, you will create the successful outcomes you're hoping for. So a lot of you could be creating a lot of successful outcomes here. I kind of feel like some of you are in this like underworld energy. You have the Page of Swords. I actually feel that, like I said, with the Hermit, it would be perfect for you to be in exploration mode. You can explore things spiritually from the comfort of your own home, right? And that would be good. You have the Three of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Three of Swords and the good stuff is healing. So a lot of you could be going through some really good healings this month. I would say the entire year, South Node and Virgo. Also, by the way, like Pluto retrograde, right? I had a big issue this year, and I found a very easy solution during Pluto retrograde. So I don't know. It seems to be a good time for Pisces to focus on healing or doing something. I think the important thing is that it's 12th house, right? For you Pisces, Aquarius. And so those 12th house issues can be things that have been hidden for a long time. And, again, it's a good time for healing those types of issues. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is carrying a heavy burden, but coming up in the good stuff. So this can say that you're getting to the end of a long, difficult journey. And yes, I also think Pisces is done working hard just to work hard. That does not mean that you won't work hard. The thing with the Ten of Wands is outside of the good stuff, he's just working hard to work hard. There's no reason for it. That he might be working hard for very little result. I think Pisces is a very hard worker personally, but what I would say to you, Pisces, is I think you're no longer just working hard just for a one-to-one result. You know what I mean? It's like if you put in 8 hours of work, you get paid for 8 hours, right? I think those days are over for Pisces. I think what Pisces needs to focus on, is if I'm going to work for 8 hours, then I need to get paid the equivalent of 40 hours, right? Like, how can you make that happen? I don't know. You're going to have to put your thinking cap on. You're going to have to think, but I think it's time for Pisces to get that multiple result, and that's probably what you're focusing on here. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is like a victory or a success, an achievement, attention. Again, I kind of feel there was something I was getting earlier about like future attention, or it's like, this month you might be a little bit more in hermit mode, working behind the scenes, but it's like whatever you're doing is adding up to attention in the future. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is kind of like slow, steady progress. It is kind of like a slow, steady progress month for you, but it's progress. You're moving forward this month, so I think you'll like it. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Fool. Yes, I think you're looking to make bigger splashes just in general. The Fool's wanting to take a leap of faith, but I kind of see this as like a splash. Typical Pisces, right? I feel like you're looking to make bigger splashes. I don't know. I thought I was going to say something else, but that's it. With the Six of Wands, you have the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. I definitely wouldn't give up. Like, if you're trying to make a splash right now, if you're trying to, burst onto a scene, or if you're trying to make a scene, Pisces, I kind of feel that the Nine of Wands is saying, do not give up at this time. Keep going. Make that final push, right? We're going to pull 5 more cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Can't make this up. You have this health card as your first card, Sun and Virgo. So I think, it could be a good month for you to get to the bottom of any health issues or anything like that. You have this negotiation card here. I do feel like some of you are kind of... you had several cards that would represent this. This Unlocking Solutions card says through compromise. You have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of compromising. I don't know that you're really compromising. I'm wondering if people are finally like compromising with you. So it's like maybe people are finally coming around to your side, which is good. You have this Authority card. Yes, it's like... people need to believe in Pisces right now, right? It's like, I think the world needs more Pisces, but it's like people have to believe in you. That doesn't mean that people will. I think you need to make the moves to make people believe in you, Pisces. It's like you have to do the things that will make that happen and that will make you be seen as being an authority. And that's what I would focus on with that card. Next, you have this Caution card. Yes, this card, there's all these animals that are rushing at her, and they want her attention. Definitely a month to protect your energy, and again, it might be a good month for you to be in the background, behind the scenes. If you don't feel like socializing or anything like that, then I would limit your socializing. I think normally, again, I never say this to you, Pisces. I'm always telling to get your ass outside, right? But again, this month, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it might be one of those months where it would be perfectly fine for you to continue being a Pisces. Next, and finally, you have this risk card. Yes, amazing time for you to take risks. For the next at least 3 years, especially when Saturn goes back into Aries. But, we'll also have Neptune there for a very long time. And so, I don't know. At least 3 years, I would say it's a good time for you to take those risks. Mostly the risk of anything that has to do with how you value yourself. And so what I mean here is Pisces needs to get other people to see their value right now, but the challenge with that is you can't, that's not possible. And you might be saying, you're telling me to do that, but it's not possible. How do I do it? You just live your life, right? What I mean by it's not possible is you can't tell someone I'm valuable, because some people are going to tell you, okay, screw off. I don't care, right? You have to prove your own value. But the other challenge is Neptune and Pisces. You have to prove it to yourself. So really, it's kind of like a paradox right now, Pisces. It's like you have to prove that you are worth following, I think, for Pisces. But also, if you say that to people, they're going to think you're a jerk. They're going to be like, who the hell are you? Like I said earlier in the reading. But your job is to get them to say, who the hell are you, in a good way, right? And so the best way to do that is to boss up, live your best life, and people that need to follow you will follow you, just plain and simple. So there you go, Pisces. That's one heck of a reading. Thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your November.